Why is he... That's how you pose as a guard. Oh, hello? 12:01. I had been waiting 3 hours for this call, anxiously pacing my room. I picked up the phone before the third ring, readying myself for Marcus's poetic drawl. Hello to our valued Hollywood Heights customer! But instead, a boisterous theatrical voice boomed through the receiver. Are you paid too much for your car insurance? We're offering a very special deal just for Hollywood Heights Platinum Rewards members. Let me just, hang up? It could be a disguise, you know? I think you have the wrong number. The wrong number? That's impossible! This is Lyla, right? You're a real riot, Marcus. I thought you could at least escape from scams in the unlife. Well, that's where you're wrong, sister. The biggest scam of them all. Why, it just only begun. Down to business for tonight, however. The place you're about to go is July Company Parking, an abandoned garage downtown. That's where the parties of our doomed rendezvous are meeting. You'll need to find Randall and get him to call off the negotiations. Do you follow me thus far, sister? Yeah, continue. Now listen carefully, because here comes the best part. There's a knife that Randall loves very, very much. Why, he loves that blade as much as Lot's daughters love their daddy. If you think someone stole it, he'll drive him completely wild and put him in a very unprofessional mood. I heard Marcus inhaling sharply on the other end of the line, like someone preparing for a gleeful delivery news. And that night just so happens to be waiting for you in the hotel front desk. You take that knife, show it to Randall, and pretend you took it off the Goliath who wanted to drive a hard bargain with it. That's sure to ruin negotiations. I'd rather doubt Randall would mistake you for one of his unwashed lackeys. But Sarah Roy says he'll be seeing too much red to care. Okay, sounds sketchier than gas station sushi, but okay. Really bad feeling about this. Good. If you didn't, I'd be more worried for you. Now, once you finished up, you just come back to the hotel bearing all the good tidings. I have faith in you, Lyla. Then again, I also have faith in Jack Kennedy, so maybe don't call yourself the Messiah just yet, okay? Click! It's sink or swim then! I didn't have the first idea what to expect, and that terrified me, but if I'd survived so far in Hollywood among the living, then I can find a way to do it amongst the dead. Blah! After picking up the knife at the front desk, I left the hotel and sulked into the streets. July Company Parking. I vaguely remember seeing that sign before, at least, so I just had some idea where to go. I set out in the garage's directions, trying to avoid eye contact with any late-night pass-byers. But as I walked, I started to feel some ache of hunger I felt last night. Ooh, we didn't drink blood! It was just a dull pain at first, but it quickly grew stronger, gnawing at me from the inside. I couldn't focus on anything else. Before I enter the parking garage, I have to find blood to save myself, or else pressure could snap me. Damn it, that was probably why the fridge had 3 blood packs, not just 1. Just then, my heightened senses picked up a scent. Down the alley, a scent of a mortal, alone. There was no one else nearby, which meant I could feed off of them if I wanted to. Uh-oh. Ugh. The pain was getting worse. My body ached, my head spun, and the whole world pulsed in front of me. I don't know! You know, Sarah Rice did say, like, if we're gonna, like, feed, we have to do it with innocent, don't kill them. But I don't know if we can handle that yet, you know? I'm gonna try to resist. I couldn't give in. I was a human, not an animal. How could I just sink my face into someone, a living being like prey? Or I tried to tell myself. The hunger kept growing and growing and growing. If I drank just a little, they wouldn't be hurt, right? I wouldn't be doing anything cruel. Just one small taste. Uh-oh. I slipped into the alleyway, pulled like a magnet towards that wonderful scent. It didn't take long before I caught the sight of the source. It's just some guy. The young man, probably in his late teens, let out a gasp before I stalked up to him. When I stalked up to him, he had been taking the piss behind the dumpster, but quickly zipped himself up and cleared his throat. Hello? Can I help you with something? I'm just on my way home from work. His voice trembled. This is the first time someone had ever been afraid of me. But the only thing I could concentrate on was the smell of his blood. Suddenly, the most delicious smell in the world. Don't worry, I'm not gonna mug you. Yes, I need you. Not like a creeper. Oh my god. I guess I'm not gonna mug you. Oh, that's relief, huh? His nervous laughter echoed in the alleyway. I took a step towards him slowly. He stayed in place, but I could see his whole body tensing up, getting ready to turn and bolt. Another step, and another, until he was only a foot or two away. Shh, come here, just for a moment, like I'm a creeper. At first, he only stared at me, blinking, but the next moment, he stumbled forward, as if I was pulling him by an invisible string. Oh, that's right, we can use our powers, right? We can just be like, come over here, I'm gonna bite you. Well, sorry, dude. I curled my arms around him, gently tilting his head to one side, and the hunger in my gut jumped eagerly. Sorry. With a shuddering breath, he closed his eyes, weakly clutching my shirt. My lips met the side of his neck, fangs extending, and I pressed them into his flesh. Sorry, dude. And I sunk them in. Hot blood flooded onto my tongue, down my throat, sending sparks of life into my dead body. It was pure bliss. Not like food, not even like a buzz. It was a high, a delicious shock that ran through me and lifted me up. The blood pack from last night couldn't even compare. It was like tasting ambrosia after licking dirt off the ground. It wasn't just the taste that made the moment euphoric. It was the experience, the feeling of holding this mortal who squirmed with pleasure as I fed from him. Yeah, I guess everyone's getting off from this. The faint whimpers leaking out from beneath my fang and soft and sweet. The hunger finally sated. Slowly my body grew limp in my arms. Lightly trembling, chest rising and falling unevenly. I pulled back, licking my lips. I almost got carried away and drunk too much. It was just hard to help myself. The young man was still slumped in my arms, peacefully unconscious. I could still feel his heart beating, and his skin didn't look pale. He'd wake up before long, or so I hoped. But I couldn't waste any more time. I needed to head towards the garage to catch the meeting on time, so I decided to. Carry him somewhere safe. Let's just leave him somewhere safe. I kind of feel bad. This was LA at night, and leaving an unconscious guy lying in the alleyway was probably one step away from manslaughter. Funny how this boy was more in danger from his fellow man than from a monster like me. Grabbing him underneath his arm, I dragged his ragdoll body through the shadows, searching for a nearby building for a safe place to leave him. It wasn't long before I found an old dentist's office, long since been abandoned. I kicked open the door and set the man inside in the dark, dusty waiting room, tossing on a rug on top of him for a blanket. Better than nothing, right? At last, with somewhat a light conscience, I hurried back to the streets. But as I rushed towards the parking garage, savoring the last taste of my blood on my tongue, I couldn't stop to think about what just happened. So this is what it meant to be a vampire, an urban, unholy apex predator, parasite living off of someone else's life. There really was no going back. July company parking garage, closing October 8th. How many Octobers ago, I wonder? Judging from all the litter and grime all around the place, probably quite a few had passed. Well, it didn't matter. This was the place. A bored-looking thug stood at the entrance, obviously stationed as a guard. My first trial, by the looks of it. Putting on a confident expression, I strode up to him, clearing my throat. Why is he... That's how you pose as a guard! Place is closed. Go dick around somewhere else. He barked a few short words out at me before I could even open my mouth. I'm one of the Goliath meeting here tonight. Please let me in. If you don't let me in this meeting, you're gonna be in a deep shit later. Maybe I'm gonna be a bitch. I don't know. Is that right? I don't remember Randall saying anything about waiting up for someone. Okay, you got me, but I really need to get inside. Sorry, baby, but I'm not risking my ass for you. Even if I promise you something later, what a shame. I figured you were a type of guy who liked cash. Hey! Want me to suck your dick later? Something, huh? Like something like what? Whisper something incredibly dirty, beckon him closer, then punch his lights. Oh, let's punch him out! I want to do that! What? What are you? Ugh! My fist slammed into his cheek, catching him off guard. He staggered back a few steps, before falling onto the ground in a heap, groaning weakly. It was a much more heavier punch than I could normally throw. My new condition must have given me a strength boost. Sorry, dude, I guess you're taking a nap now. I hurried into the garage, feeling only slightly sorry for the guard. I was living in an even more brutal world than before, and I had a feeling that misplaced mercy would only equal death row. Okay. After darting down the few levels of the garage at top speed, I finally arrived. Loud whispers and rowdy laughter made it sound like a meeting hadn't started yet. I was just in time. The two groups standing across from each other were pretty clear-cut, and I could easily tell which house was which. One was the full rough type, probably gangsters and punks in life. Tattoos, leather, jackets, piercing, and wild eyes were everywhere. The other group, interesting enough, looked like a complete opposite. Eccentric outfits, soft murmurs, and a large amount of eerie smiles. I'm assuming this is Randall? Alright, let's cut the bullshit and talk conditions. A deep voice suddenly boomed through the garage, making everyone fall silent. Hey! Yo, can I just say, I'm liking his aesthetic though. Look at his fucking tattoos! This guy! Moments later, a tall, muscular vampire pushed his way into the front of the Mavar group. The sheer force of his presence made it instantly clear who he was. I only agreed to this meeting because I hate those Asari bastards more than I hate you. I'm guessing it's mutual. If you want a truce, there better be something to sweeten the deal. I don't think those Dieters here he'll settle for anything less. Yeah, okay! Hell yeah, don't let them weasel out, Randall! Cheers of approval rang out from the rowdy group behind him. Oh, what a hand. Even like the NPC, like the characters that are not really into this story, are good looking. My goodness, the art is so good. It improves so much. Oh, we wouldn't dream of it. Snares and jars rushed among the Mavar in response. Priests, huh? Some nice diplomacy you got there. So, what are you gonna try to offer? Fortune-telling services, voodoo magic? We're gonna need something more realer than empty promises. The Goliath vampire let out a smug chuckle, like he had hidden a trump card already. I didn't like the sound of that. If I was going to crash and burn this meeting, then I have to do something now before they had worked out a deal. Call them out, rush up to Randall. I feel like rushing up to Randall might get me killed because everybody who's like guarding him, like his house, will be like, who the fuck is that, and kill us. So I gotta call him out. Hold the fuck on. My voice echoed through the garage, painfully loud. A sea of surprised, quizzical gazes flooded towards me. Seizing the moment, I hurried up to Randall's side. He gave me a skeptical look, one browed arch in a "are you crazy" sort of way. I pulled out his knife and held it in my palms, trying not to tremble. Whatever I said next was going to have to be damn convincing or else. Boss, I found this one on their guy. I hate to interrupt, but is this your knife? I'm not gonna say boss because I'm pretty sure he knows all his people, right? So I'm gonna say, is this yours? Knife. I didn't drop any nut. What the? Cutting off mid-sentence, Randall glanced down at the knife in my hands. Then his eyes slid back onto mine, meeting my gaze wordlessly for a few moments. You got this from a Goliath? One of those crazy guys. Who else? I don't know. He took a deep breath. These motherfuckers have stolen it from me! Holy hell. Excuse me? Mr. Randall, would you care to explain what's going on? The leader of the Goliath group called over to us, clearly confused. Damn it, I can't deal with this shit right now. Mr. Randall, if you're quite done with this little episode, I'd like to present our Get the fuck out of here! All of you bastards, meeting's fucking cancelled. Randall's angry command echoed through the garage, loud enough to make a few vampires wince. And you guys make sure those motherfuckers scurry back to the rat holes. He addressed his own group with a low growl, which was met by a hurried nod and eager knuckles cracking. I'll meet you outside in a little while. Go on, get going. Alright, you heard the man! Come on, let's go! Within seconds, the garage turned into a chaotic mess of Goliath vampires fending off the rabid Mavar, who pushed and shoved them to the exit. It was easy to tell how much Randall's men were hungry for a fight, but the group of Goliath stayed placid, like they refused to give a Mavar what they wanted. The confusion and shouting went on for a few moments, but eventually the garage emptied, leaving only Randall and I behind. Man, you have some balls. After a long moment of silence, Randall lets out a long, tired sigh, finally turning his attention back to me. I was supposed to be a trick, right? You weren't trying to turn me against the Gauls? Not gonna lie, it was a pretty shitty attempt. Even if you did bring the knife as a bargaining chip, there's no way they'd be that careless with it. Let me guess, Queen Bitch sent you, didn't she? You mean Sarah Ice, who you're talking about? No, your mother and I haven't spoken in years! I'm gonna be honest, he can really see through me. Who the hell else? Fucking Sarah Rice figures. She must have known I'd see through this. It's too obvious. What the hell is she aiming for? It's Sakari and their mind games, damn it. Randall growled deep in his throat, fangs bared like a wild animal. But his anger didn't seem focused on me, much to my surprise. He was still holding the knife too, so I consider myself lucky. Ugh. Finally, he let out a groan, most of the anger on his face fading away. Probably good that we didn't bargain with those freaks anyway. They were up to something just like always. But you, I've never seen your face before. I've just seen about every vampire in LA. And since you were sent on a suicide mission, it doesn't take a whole lot of detective work that you're new. Cannon foddered, kicked out to die. What's your name anyway? It's Lyla. I'm gonna be honest, I think that's the best way, right? We're trying to be allies with this dude. Lyla, huh? Well, Lyla, you way to make a fucking entrance. He didn't sound quite as pissed as I figured he'd be. I should tear you up for pulling that shit on us, but man, I guess I didn't really get much of a choice. It's just like Queen Bitch, taking a newbie and throwing her out to the sharks. There's a whole lot that I can do for you, with not her on high alert. That's how it is. I gotta go look out for me in my house. His shoulders raised in a hapless shrug, one hand scratching the back of his head. He didn't really sound apologetic, even though he had no reason to be. Well, Sarai's wanted to truce with you. Eventually, wouldn't you agree to one? So, how do you feel about working with the Isakari? I can tell he doesn't like her, so I'm gonna mention Isakari then. Yeah, real funny. You're not joking, are you? She says you're the leader of the Mavar and wants to be allies. For some godforsaken reason, she thinks that you'd be good to work with. Let's go with this. Ha! A choked laugh and disbelief interrupted in his throat. If he reacted like that just so he mentioned of an alliance, it probably didn't bode well for Sarai's. It's the dumbest thing I've heard in a month. And I just read a magazine ad trying to tell me my dick wasn't big enough. Sure, these guys look up to me, but I'm not their leader. They have no leader. That's kind of the fucking point. Told her 100 goddamn times too. Hard concept to doll up, faster slip to grasp, I guess. He muttered his last words spitefully, grinding a stray piece of gravel underneath his boot. I mean, it sounded like you were a leader earlier. Me? I'm just a voice. You know, 50 guys shouting at once, I can get real loud. Now, one guy speaking for the group, that makes the negotiations a lot easier, even if I'd rather negotiate with my knuckles in that smug fucker's face. He snarled, grinding his fist into the palm, glaring in the direction of the Goliath that went off earlier.
Love seeing you two together again.
Is that Stan Lee? Holy shit! Oh my...
We have a lovely rosemary mushroom crostini, sliced and lightly toasted, that gets topped with beautiful sauté onions with a dash of garlic and hints of butter. Mushrooms cooked